The reoccurrence of fire disasters leaves victims in shock, displacing them of their livelihood and in some cases leading to loss of lives and property. The cases of incessant fire disasters in the FCT affects residential offices and business environment, reaching its peak during Hamilton when it blows dry and hazy. This year alone, FCT witnessed many fire disasters, the latest being the Trademore Estate Market, popularly known as Vegetable Market in Lugbe, Abuja, which went up in flames at the early hours of Monday morning. Tonight we're going to be focusing on the precautionary measures against fire disaster. I am Ikaria Clinton. Thanks for joining us. With me in the studio for the conversation is Controller Adebayo Zakio Samiola. He's the Acting Director, FCT Fire Service. It's a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Also with us in the studio is Engineer Abdurrahman Mohammed. He's the Director General, FCT Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
I'll start with you, Controller Adebayo. Tell us about what really happened, with the Trademore Estate Market fire outbreak.
Okay, thank you so much. At the early hours of today, around 3:40 a.m., a distress call was received from Trademore Phase 2 tomato market in Sabon Lugbe of outbreak of fire in that market. We mobilized both the Federal FCT Fire Service and Federal Fire Service to the place. We put the fire under control around 5 a.m. early hour of today. Now, when we got there from the preliminary investigation we carried out, the eyewitness reported that the fire started around that 3:40, but they could not reach out to fire service until after 4 o'clock because they couldn't get the contact of the fire service. Also, they said there was fire outage, and around after 12 a.m., the electricity was restored. Not quite long from that time, they saw the smoke and it was fire outbreak. So, by the combined effort of fire services, we put it under control. We didn't allow it to spread more than we did that market. And we thank God there was no any life lost.
Okay, indeed, we thank God there was no life lost. Well, but then again, Engineer Abdurrahman, we always have this kind of incidents, and of course, as much as he said there's no life lost, but lots of property, and of course, what millions, was lost in this case. Why do we always have situations like this, and how can we get it right in terms of disaster management?
Thank you very much. We have been telling people that, especially we in the FCT emergency management, we just flag off our dry season fire campaign, and our intention was to start with markets, shops, offices, and houses before we go into villages, whereby we will be talking to the village heads to call their people together so that in case of bush burning, they will not allow the bush burning. These are what we have put in place. But having said that, we are lacking knowledge. We are lacking people following the rule. That is our major problem.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean by following the rule is that we have been telling people that there are fire equipment that you must keep. Some of these things should be red-handed. Immediately there is something, you go to a place, you pick it, and people should get basic knowledge of how to control fire. Every household, every offices, every market people should be taught, especially those who will be stay behind, should be taught how a fire incident can be controlled. So these are the things, and I think my friend they are doing their best. They are going around to make sure that they teach people on basic control of fire incidents. But people are not listening because we always believe that this will not happen. It is only when it happens that we know that yes, this happened. But the moment it happens, it's not. We try to make sure that we prevent some of these things that will happen. It's part of our preparedness. But you cannot prepare when something happens. So that is it. You have to prepare before it happens.
Exactly, we have to prepare before it happens, just like Engineer said. Controller, tell us what are some of the precautionary measures we must take as individuals.
Thank you so much.
To prevent fire outbreak.
Using trade morphs to fruit market in Sabonugbe as a case study, because that's what happens generally in all the markets, not only in FCT but throughout Nigeria. Number one, look at the electrical installation in all of our markets. They do this by unprofessional workers. They should allow professional to install electrical system in all our markets. Wiring of the market should be done by professionals. We should disallow the use of personal generators inside our markets because of the noise pollution and other things. Now, the climate change and global warming is at its peak. We have dry leaves, papers, plastics all around. They fly. We should be conscious of the time we are in now. We should not keep fuel at all in the market. And when we are using all electrical appliances, we should do it in such a way that there should be no spark of any type when we are carrying out our activities. And when we are building our markets, so they should be carried out with non-combustible materials. Look at the tremor that we are talking about. I visited a place, I look at the ceiling. It was PVC, which is highly combustible material when we talk of fire outbreak. So we also talk about sleeping in the market. It should not be allowed at all in any market setup. When the market closes, there should be rules and regulations that nobody should be found in the market at the closure of and they should switch off major lights into these market shops.
I can imagine if people are sleeping there and this fire now, now
all the bush around the market should be should not allow. They should cut and remove them. They should not set bush around the market on fire at this time around. The major ones, when we are planning our markets, we should take care of safety. We should have in mind the safety side of the market. Number one, access road to the market are very, very important. When I get to the trade mall this morning, I look at all the other blocks in the market. There is no way the smallest fire appliance can gain access to the market, the site of the market. When this fire happens, we have to go round, far place before we could lay our length of hose before we could get to the site of the fire. So there should be a planning, well planned, access road to the market. We should not allow our marketplaces to be blocked by makeshift shops all around. Not that alone, when we are planning our market, we should take cognizance of the insurance policy. Let our marketers, we sympathize with those people, the victims of the Trademore market fire. We pray that God will replenish all what they have lost. At the same time, when we are planning market, we should take also into cognizance the insurance policy. Let there be insurance policy upon our goods and business premises, so that when it happens like this, there will be the effect will be cushioned to some extent. Thank you so much.
Having said that, Controller Adebayo, now it mentions quite a lot of things that should be, put into cognizance, put in place when a market is being constructed. But then again, you know that some of these markets were properly planned. From the beginning, they were, planned, they were built properly, but these marketers will come and add their own makeshifts. Now, what I want to know, or what we would want to know again is what measures should an individual take? Like when this fire, just happened at the early stage of the fire incident, what should one do?
Thank you very much. What should one do is to make sure that, number one, anytime you that have a shop in the market, make sure you have fire extinguisher in it. And the fire service now, they are coming out with a fire router. I think it is high time we buy into their fire router. Fire router means the moment there is a fire smoke anywhere, it will trigger. Instead of waiting 4 o'clock to call fire service, the fire router will immediately trigger and we call fire service. So it's an automatic machine that they can use. I think it's coming up now. These are the things the marketers will key into. By the time the router is much available, I think they are distributing it now and it's going around. We advise them to key him, but again, they must make sure that they have fire extinguishers in their shops. They must make sure that they did not keep petrol, they did not keep anything that will cause fire in the shops. So at the end of the day, the fire will be minimal if you put all these things in place. But the most important thing is the fire router is very important. They must key into the program. And I urge the fire service to make sure that every market, in fact, they should start with the market. Every market should key in. They should see the advantage. In fact, we should see the advantage from the market so that we can now go into offices and households. That's what we are going to do.
No, Controller, tell us more about this fire router.
Yes, thank you so much. The fire router, it is called FCT Fire Emergency Monitoring Gateway. The purpose or the aim is to connect all both the public, private buildings and marketplaces to our control room in FCT for service. When you connect to this program, whether the owner of the shop is there or not, we receive signal in our control room that so place there is smoke, there's fire. Whether the person calls us or not, we mobilize ourselves. We mobilize the nearest fire station to the scene of the emergency, and we carry out our responsibility whether we are called or not.
Okay,
so
let me before you continue, the fire router, is it the individual shops or the entire market would have one router? Let's get that clear.
Okay, let me explain further. We have what is called fire alarm system, which is made up of smoke detectors, fire alarm, then break glass, and so on. If you have your smoke detectors, you have gone through 90% of it. The only thing you need now is fire router in order to connect to FCT fire emergency monitoring gateway. When you get this router, you can come to FCT fire service, you can go to FCT emergency management agency and ask about how you can get router. Come, or you call us on our direct line. We have lines that I will give you shortly where people can call during emergency, and that will not even take any dime from your wallet in the phone.
Yeah, because I'm surprised that you said earlier that some of the marketers said they did not have the contact.
Yes.
The contact of the fire service.
Yes.
That's very unfortunate.
That was the preliminary investigation. They said the man that asked many shops there that he wanted to call fire. I said, all this while we move around, you could not have the contact of FCT fire service. I now give him. I say, anytime there's an emergency, call 0209-290-6118.
You call it again?
Let me call it again. Anytime anybody discovers fire, let the person call 0209-290-6118. We mobilize the nearest fire station to the scene. Let me give you another line that is toll free. Okay. One is 112. This one is general. It can be police, can be road safety, but they will direct it on. But the one that is directly into FCT fire service control room is 08 0000 32837. In another form, 08 0000 in 4 places. Then you have FCTFS. Okay. When you dial this on your phone, you get to all direct, and within a short period of time, we carry out our responsibility.
Okay, so I'll take it again. The first one you said 020-9290-6118, exactly. And or you call the toll-free one of 112. This one will take you, is a general one, but they will still direct you to the FCT fire service. Yes. Or you can call 0800000. That's 0 into 4. Now 32837.
Exactly.
Or you say 080000.
FCTFS. Thank you.
Okay, so that is the number we should call in case of any,
Let me say something more about 112.
Okay.
112 is general emergency line.
Okay.
If you dial 112, it will take you to the problem you have at hand. If it is fire, it will take you to fire. If it is road safety, it will take you to road safety. If it is police, it will take you to police. We control 112.
Okay.
And from there, we make sure that every organization have their own. If it is DSS, we link you to the DSS. Because the moment you call 112, it will tell us the problem. Then we now link you to the people, the first responders who will respond for the number.
Okay, now what I want you to let the viewer know, what are some of the mistakes people make, that could increase the risk of fire disaster?
A lot of things the people make. You see, when you are in the kitchen, you don't just leave whatever you are doing in the kitchen and say, let me go and attend to another thing. You concentrate in that kitchen. You don't keep fuel. I keep telling people, if you are not using a car, don't buy fuel inside. If you are not using a car, if the car that you are not using, make sure there's no petrol inside. Because we have climate change now. The atmosphere is very tense and it can catch fire anytime. Anything can happen. So you don't keep fuel. You don't keep fuel inside all your electrical appliances must be well connected. You don't use fake material to connect your electrical appliance. This is the period of Christmas. December is coming. December has come. The people will be firecracker will be going all of. So people must be told that don't go near the bush, because the bush may be very close to what. There's a fire incident in our dump site on Friday. These are the things that cause it. Firecracker, you play with fire. So you don't play with fire at this time. This is dry period. Anything can happen. You make sure that you have your cylinder far away from the kitchen. You go keep it outside instead of keeping the cylinder inside. Make sure that something you are not using it. Make sure you lock the cylinder from the inside the kitchen and outside the kitchen. Those of us in the office, make sure you switch off all electric appliances before you leave, and train your securities that will remain in the premises. Make sure you train them on how to control fire. These are the little things we are going to do to make sure that we prevent occurrence of fire.
Okay. Now, Controller Adebayo, before we go, tell us some of these equipment that we should have around us.
Thank you so much. Let me quickly mention here revealing of our machines, our plants, why they are running. It's a terrible error that should not be committed. And also, we should not discharge petroleum products at the 8th hour of the day. This is very, very important. Now, we should have fire defense equipment. You are talking about the equipment that we should have to ensure that fire outbreak does not overwhelm us at any point in time. When we have portable fire defense equipment, that is first aid, firefighting equipment, for instance, portable fire extinguishers. When you discover fire, you have been trained on how to use this fire extinguisher. You pick it with a player, you fire it up and you knock it off. So it is very, very important that you have fire extinguishers and you are trained on how to use them. Also, these smoke detectors is very, very important. When you have it, you will easily connect to FCT fire emergency monitoring gateway that my guy talked about just now. Is very, very important. And also, having this contact number in our phone or in our diary is very, very important. We should not hesitate to put them, to note them down inside our diary or put them inside our phone. Now, last but not the least is these our structures that we are erecting all around now. People consider the beauty aspect of the structures only, not safety. They pad it with combustible materials, foam, just to prevent noise within the building. You see foam all around, you see cloth. And little spark like this, especially during dry season, ignite and fire results into fire outbreak. So we should take cognizance of all these simple precautionary measures. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much. In summary, we all should be, very careful, and take some of the precautionary measures that has been given by the experts here in the studio to prevent, fire outbreak. It does no one any good, no good at all, because the recent one that happened, a lot of property were lost, and of course, we thank God there was no life lost, but then we lost quite a lot of, things worth millions of naira. With that, we end today's episode of Nigeria Today. A very big thank you to Engineer Abdurrahman Mohammed. He's the Director General, FCT Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution. And also, a very big thank you to Controller Adebayo Zakio Samila, the Acting Director, FCT Fire Service. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
And thank you for being part of the program. Remember, Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 p.m. on Nta News24. You can also watch these episodes and others on www.youtube.com/NTA News24 Hub. I'm your carrier, Clinton. Goodbye.